The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as the doors hissed open. Ambassador Jakara of the Vissian Collective felt her chromatophores flush pale blue, the color of fear, as two figures stepped into the hall. Humans. Two of them. The taller one, introduced as Captain Sarah Chen, moved with an unsettling grace that reminded Jakara of the apex predators from her homeworld's ancient history. The other, Dr. James Okonkwo, carried himself with a deceptive casualness that somehow made him more threatening. Both wore simple dark uniforms that seemed designed for function rather than ceremony. "Council members," Captain Chen began, her voice carrying easily across the vast chamber without amplification. "We appreciate the invitation to address this assembly." Councillor Vexthon of the Harmonious Reaches couldn't help but notice how the humans' eyes scanned the room, not with wonder at the assembled representatives of 47 species, but with the calculated assessment of a predator measuring potential threats. Those forward-facing eyes, designed for tracking prey across long distances, missed nothing. "The Council has deliberated for 3 cycles regarding humanity's application for membership," Chairman Curell announced, his 12 vocal sacs vibrating with careful diplomacy. "We have concerns. We're from a death world," Dr. Okonkwo said simply. "We understand." A ripple of unease passed through the chamber. They understood. Of course they did. Humans had proven disturbingly adept at understanding things that should have been alien to them. Jakara accessed her data tablet, pulling up the file on Earth that had given her nightmares. Gravity 1.3 times galactic standard. Atmosphere composed partly of a highly reactive corrosive gas the humans called oxygen. Weather systems capable of generating wind speeds that could tear apart most council species. Tectonic activity that regularly reshaped the planet's surface. And perhaps most horrifying, predators. Thousands of species of predators, from microscopic to massive, all competing in an endless arms race of evolution. And humans had risen to the top of that hellish pyramid. "Your planet's classification as a Class 12 death world is not our primary concern," Curell continued. "It is what that environment has created in your species." Captain Chen smiled. Several council members flinched. Humans bared their teeth when experiencing positive emotions, a biological quirk that triggered instinctive terror in nearly every species present. "You're worried we're too dangerous," Chen said. "It wasn't a question." "You hunt for recreation," Councillor Vexthon interjected, unable to contain himself. "Your literature celebrates war. Your children play games that simulate combat. You willingly expose yourselves to your sun's radiation to change your skin pigmentation. You consume ethanol, a poison, for enjoyment. We also write poetry," Dr. Okonkwo replied calmly. "We create music that can move us to tears. We've built civilizations on cooperation and compassion. We send robots to other worlds just to see what's there. We are more than our evolutionary heritage. Are you?" Jakara found herself speaking, her voice barely a whisper. "3 months ago, we observed your response to the Kralix incursion in the Outer Rim." The humans exchanged glances. The Kralix incident. Nobody wanted to talk about the Kralix incident. The Kralix, apex predators from another Class 12 world, had stumbled into Galactic Council space and immediately began raiding colonies. For 6 weeks, Council fleets had tried to contain them, losing ships and personnel while barely slowing the Kralix advance. The Council had been preparing to abandon entire systems. Then the humans had arrived. "We did what was necessary," Captain Chen said quietly. The Kralix were killing civilians. What the humans had done in 72 hours had shocked the galaxy. They hadn't tried to negotiate or contain. They had hunted, using tactics that seemed pulled from nightmare. Human ships had stalked the Kralix fleet through asteroid fields and nebulae, learning their patterns, exploiting their weaknesses. When they finally struck, it was with a precision and brutality that left the Kralix fleet completely destroyed. Not routed. Not defeated. Annihilated. "You didn't just stop them," Jakara said. "You made an example of them. You broadcasted your victory across every channel, ensuring every species in the galaxy knew what happens to those who threaten human allies. We protected innocent lives," Dr. Okonkwo corrected gently, "and we sent a message that such aggression would not be tolerated. Is that not what a council member should do?" "You terrify us," Councillor Vexthon admitted. "Both of you. Standing there, Knowing that you could probably kill half the people in this room before our guards could respond. Knowing that your species has mastered technologies in decades that took us centuries. Knowing that you've turned every disadvantage of your death world into a strength. Captain Chen's expression softened slightly. We understand fear. Our whole history has been about overcoming it. Fear of the dark, fear of predators, fear of disease, fear of each other. We're not asking you to stop being afraid of us. Then what are you asking? Chairman Corell asked. Dr. Okonkwo stepped forward. We're asking you to trust that the same evolution that made us dangerous also made us protective. Yes, we're predators, but we're social predators. We form bonds across species lines. We domesticated wolves into companions, befriended horses, protect whales. We extend our pack instinct to those we care about. And if we join the council, Captain Chen added, your species become part of our pack. That means when threats come, and they will come, you'll have Deathworlders standing between you and danger. The chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. The council had spent cycles fearing what humanity might do to them. None had considered what humanity might do for them. Chairman Curell's vocal sacs pulsed in a pattern Jakara had never seen before, a mixture of fear and hope. The council will deliberate on this matter and provide our decision within the cycle. As the two humans turned to leave, Captain Chen paused at the doorway. One more thing, Council. When you're making your decision, remember this. Right now, you're afraid of us. But there are things in this galaxy that should be afraid of us together. The doors closed behind them, leaving 47 species in stunned silence. Jakara looked at her fellow council members and saw her own thoughts reflected in their expressions. The humans were terrifying, there was no denying that. But perhaps what the galaxy needed wasn't less dangerous friends. Perhaps what they needed was friends dangerous enough to face what was coming. 3 hours later, the council voted. Humanity's application was approved unanimously. As Jakara filed out of the chamber, she realized something profound. They hadn't voted despite their fear of humans. They'd voted because of it. Because if something could make Deathworlders like humanity evolve such terrible capabilities, the galaxy needed those capabilities on its side. 2 Deathworlders had walked into a council meeting. And everyone had left terrified, but they'd also left safer than they'd been in 1,000 years.